Okay, we have our layout, start, stop, plus, minus, and a label that keeps the time. And now we're going to do some of the blocks. The first thing we're going to do is initialize a variable. And I'm just going to call it time because it's going to be where we store the current time. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Time, T-I-M-E, enter. And initialize it to 0. The next thing I want to do is something we didn't do before, but we're going to go over here to screen 1 and do what's called a screen initialize. And that means once we open the app, once we turn on the app, some things get set the same as a basic beginning, and we're going to set the global time to 0. All right. And then I'm also going to go into the label time and set that label time text. I want to. This is something that we can talk about more. Whoops, that's the wrong one. We can talk about more. What am I doing? But it's nice to be using this variable to put into the text. For right now, just trust me. We're not just going to put a 0 in there. We're going to set it to whatever the global time is. And that's something we're going to use again and again, setting this label text to whatever that variable happens to be at that moment. Okay, so that's our beginning. That's our setup. And then I want to talk about how we use this plus and minus button here. So what we're going to do, every time we hit the plus button, I want the number of the variable time to go up. And I want that to be displayed in the label. So let's look at that. So every time I click button plus, this is something that is like one of the most fundamental things that you'll see in code. It's called incrementing. Oops, I got the wrong math thing here. It should be up. Oh no. Global plus. Here, I need to set global plus to that +1. So what we're going to do, this, let me put it together and then run you through it. Because this is something you really need to understand. This is saying take the value of the folder, the number that we're putting in the folder, and make it equal to the old number +1. And I grabbed the wrong one again. Oh my Lord. Plus, there we go. Global time +1. This is called incrementing. You could go up by 2s, you could go up by 5s, you could go down by 1, you could do a 1,000 things with it. Real common though to make the new value equal to the old value +1. And if you've done anything with series or sequences in math, you'll see the n and n +1 a lot. That's the same concept. So what we're doing here is we're going to, every time we click the button, we're going to take the value that we're storing in the time folder or in the variable and add it, take the old one and add 1. So if it was 6, you click, it becomes 6 + 1, 7, right? This is starting to make sense, I hope. If it was 10, you click, it becomes the old value 10. The new value becomes the old value 10 + 1 or 11. And we don't want to just change the variable. We want to change the value that's being displayed. Okay, so we have that. What do you think I'm going to do next? I'm going to go to button minus, and I'm going to do the same thing, except this is going to be the new value of time is the old value of time -1. So now I got to go back, and this time I hope I pick the right one. A minus. All right. And then we have that. So what I'd like you to do right now is have all this here, connect your app, and make sure that it starts out with a 0, and then has the plus and minus going up and down like that. All right. And then once that's set, we'll talk about how do we use the clock, how do we get it to count, and how do we display that counting going on.